I want to ask you this. Look, if you watch my channel, I'm not a big scooper guy. I don't typically talk about scoopers, but this one's interesting because we know that there's a Teen Titans movie coming up. And APOC Horseman says Tim Drake is rumored to be leading the Teen Titans in the DCU. However, it's still undecided and unknown at this time. What the hell does that even mean? Like, it's rumored, but it's undecided and unknown. What?
Well, my take on scoopers is I don't trust any of them at all. No. To the point where if like a scooper came out and said, I hear Crazy Joe really loves his daughter, I'd start questioning whether my kid that good.
Yeah. Well, what do you think about this? I'm gonna do this real quick. What do you think? Do you think, because we know that the Bat family should be established, pretty much established in the DCU, especially if Damian Wayne's going to be popping up. You know, if the Brave and the Bold is actually going to be the Batman and that they're doing with Damian and Bruce Wayne, that means that Dick Grayson is probably going to be older. He's probably going to be Nightwing at that time, which means they're going to have gone through a couple Robins, you would think. You know, right. I mean, do we get to a Jason Todd? Do we go through a Tim Drake? Do we get where are we going with these Robins here? If we're going to get all the way to a Damian, you think now they could change up the story a little bit. We've talked about this in the past on my channel that they don't need to stick to the story of going through each individual Robin to get all the way to Damian. But what do you think? Do you think it's a good idea to pretty much just throw Dick Grayson to Nightwing and just skip his whole being a Robin and just go all the way to having a Tim Drake Robin? Do you like that idea?
It depends on one thing. Are they doing Teen Titans or are they doing Titans? If the movie is Titans, then I think you should have Dick Grayson as the leader as Nightwing. But if we're introducing Damian Wayne, then I feel like I don't think you need to have all the Robins, but I mean you could skip Jason Todd. You don't need to have Stephanie Brown in there, but I think the three main, like the three most popular Robins are Dick, Tim, and Damian. Those are the ones I think everyone likes the most. So yeah, if they're doing Teen Titans and we've already got a Damian, then it kind of makes sense to me that, well, Dick shouldn't be a teen anymore at that point. So Tim Drake would make sense, I'd say.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, I kind of feel like I would like to see Dick Grayson done properly on the screen. No shade thrown at Chris O'Donnell. No shade thrown at him. He did the best he could in Batman Forever and Batman and Robin. But we haven't had a Dick Grayson on screen since then. Like, think about it. Like, I would like to see the evolution of Dick Grayson from, an orphan coming under the tutelage of Bruce Wayne, becoming Robin, their relationship being as broken as it becomes, and him going to become Nightwing. Like, we saw bits and pieces of that in the Titans show. We did. The Titans show was okay. The first two seasons, first season was kind of rough. Second season was better, and then after that, I kind of fell off.
Yeah.
And we saw bits of that in there. But on the big screen, I would love to see that. I would love to see the growth of Dick Grayson become Nightwing. Like, that's what I would love to see. So, like, to me, I feel kind of gypped not getting to experience that. And again, don't get me wrong. I was excited and still am excited to see Damian Wayne, because it's like, just like I said the other day about seeing the Engineer and Rick Flag and Ultraman and Superman on the screen. Like, whoever thought you would see that? I never thought we'd ever see Damian Wayne on the big screen. Like, what's the chances of that ever happening?
Yeah.
But, I feel it's like Dick Grayson is the most well-known Robin. And you're just going to kind of skip over that for probably who is the most or the least known Robin. You know, a lot of people don't know that Bruce Wayne has a son and he does become a Robin. Like, sure,
Right.
geeks know this, but the audience doesn't. The general audience doesn't. So, heck, the general audience probably doesn't know about Jason Todd or Tim Drake or Stephanie Brown or any of the other ones.
I'll give you my hot take as the father of 2 girls. I'd rather see Stephanie Brown, but I know I'm in the minority on that because my daughters would love that.
I got 3 girls, 3 boys. I don't think they care. So
my oldest daughter definitely does. So.
But I mean, when you get down to it, I think honestly, I just want good story.
Right.
Yeah, I think when all is said and done, I would like to see Dick Grayson. Sure, I would love to see that story play out, and we still could at some point. Like, I still think that an awesome movie idea would be a Nightwing movie or a Nightwing TV show, similar to that of what they did with Daredevil on Netflix, and really just dive deep into his conflict within and why he became Nightwing. And you could do great flashbacks there, and you could do that story in that way. So that would work. But then you're looking at Jason Todd, then you're looking at Tim Drake, and how did they get there? Like, and where did Tim Drake come from? Like, why is he a Robin? And how did he get there? You know, how did we get from Dick Grayson to Tim Drake? Was there anything in between? And what happened to him or her? You know, there's so much story there that it seems like they're just gonna skip over. And it just, to me, it's like, come on. Like, the Jason Todd story is a beloved story by so many. And when you think about it, it's like, okay, we've seen that story done in video games how many times, you know, become the Red Hood and all that stuff, sure. But we've never seen it on the big screen. And imagine that. Even if we see Jason Todd and then it doesn't, like, the story doesn't culminate within 1 or 2 movies. It takes a while to happen, but just knowing it's happening at some point, like, that would be exciting to see. So again, it's just, I don't know. Again, like we said, you got to take what scoopers say with a grain of salt. You can't just rely on everything, you know, and believe what they say. But
by the way, Sean O'Rourke's right. He says I'd rather see a female Robin, but they will call it a gender swap. They will, even if it's a character well established in the comics. That's where it'll go.
They would say, Stephanie Brown. Who's this? I've never heard of that before. They're just making something up. That's what they're doing.
Yeah, just like Silver Surfer.